What's up, everybody? It is Rustbeard, and today we're going to be talking about how Transmog completely, 100%, absolutely, unequivocally, fully ruined World of Warcraft. Okay, maybe I was being a little bit dramatic, I'm sorry, but it's true. It's ruined it. Completely ruined the game. I don't know how anybody could ever justify something so absolutely diabolical as making my armor look how I want it to look. Of course I'm joking. I think that is a ridiculous sentiment, and the people that I have seen talking about this on the internet, they've got to have brainworms or something, because what the hell? I don't get it. I don't understand. So the thing that prompted this video was I was watching some videos about some of the new armor sets and whatnot, and I seen a couple comments on them talking about how Transmog has completely ruined the game, and they just are completely sick of it, and they just don't understand why people like it so much and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. We'll go ahead and start with this post that I found on Reddit, and it's fairly recent, so I did blur out the names and the timestamps just because I'm not trying to start beef with anybody. I just want, and if this is your post and you do end up seeing this video somehow, look, man, I just want you to sit back and take a look at like how kind of ridiculous these statements are. And it's not just the person that originally posted this, it's also some of the comments that have been on this thread as well. So first things first, I'll just go ahead and pull this up. Did transmogs ruin a huge part of the game? It gave developers no reason to develop new, unique, class-specific tier sets. It took away a lot of the incentive to get specific gear pieces. Originally, there was notoriety and bragging rights which came with how you looked. People could tell how far in the game you've progressed by the items they could see you wear. Oh boy. I'm almost certain, correct me if I'm an idiot, that there are still class-specific items that only specific classes can wear. That has never gone away. So, right off the bat, originally there was notoriety and bragging rights. So here's another thing. The notoriety and bragging rights. Okay, so you still have to complete mythic dungeons, mythic raids, whatever, to get the mythic gear, right? Or the PvP gear, the high-end PvP gear. You still have to grind out the... I haven't PvP'd in a while, so I don't know how it works right now, but I know, like, when you wanted to get the Conquest gear back in Mists of Pandaria, you still had to grind out the Conquest points and so forth. Like, it's still bragging, right? Same with the PvP mounts, by the way. The PvP mounts that are coming out, that they look super freaking cool, man. Like, I have wanted to get back into PvP so bad, specifically for those mounts, it's not even funny. Like, they would be an absolute bragging right to have, and power to the people that actually grind to get those, because they're dope. And I don't know if I have it in me, but... Alright, so people can tell how far in the game you've progressed by the items that they could see you wear. Again, you still have to get those items from the source in order to transmog them, so there's still a level of progression that you are showing off in the gear that you're transmogging. It doesn't matter if you are specifically wearing that piece of gear or if it's transmogged to look like that piece of gear. You still have to obtain that piece of gear in order for it to look like that. Now anyone can look like anything, and the mix match of finding items to copy to design the perfect outfit has turned a great incentive to progress into a fashion simulator. Boy, we'll get back to that in a second. Don't get rid of old raids and still give people the ability to find old sets and put them together into an outfit if they so wish, but be able to change your current items to look like anything you want? Come on. So I know the transmog rules have been loosened since it's been introduced to the game, but there's still restrictions, guys. Come on now. Like, you still can't have a mage dual wielding two-handed weapons like that. It's not like you're breaking any aspect of the game in order to make a transmog set work. You still have to, 1, get the items, 2, you still have to be able to use the items, 3, the bragging rights are still there. Because, I don't know about you, but I'm not a mythic raider, okay? I would absolutely put myself in the category of a veteran. Sure, I've been playing for a long time. I mean, since the beginning, basically. But I'm a casual at the end of the day. Like, I don't do mythic raiding. I don't do hardcore PvP or arenas. Like, I'm here for a fun time. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, and when I see those people wearing those mythic pieces of gear and seeing them with their mythic weapon skins and stuff like that, it's great. I still have the same feeling that I did back in Burning Crusade when I was walking around through Orgrimmar and I seen these people riding around on mounts that I thought I would never obtain in my life. And they're sitting there with the coolest gear on and whatnot. I still look at people in their gear and I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool. Granted, nowadays I can probably pop up the dungeon journal or whatever and be like, oh, they got it from this raid on mythic difficulty. All right, I'll wait a few expansions or whatever when I can go back and solo that shit to farm those gear pieces. That's fine. That's great. And that brings up another point. I understand there's a lot of people that are like, well, it's easier to get those things. It's easier to get those things if you want to wait to do it in another dungeon tier, another raid tier or whatever down the road. Yeah, that's fine. That's great. But at the end of the day, you still have to get those items, and not all of those items are easy drops. I'm still hunting for the Shoulders of Manaroth. Like, I haven't gotten those yet. I'm still hunting for Invincible. I haven't got Invincible yet. I do have Ashes of Alar, though. Pretty nice. My point is, this is just a ridiculous sentiment. I don't understand why this is the overall argument when people are saying that Transmog has ruined the game. But let's go ahead and pull up a couple more. Hey man, yes it did. Transmog is such a plague. Not only in WoW, most of the players don't get it. They're like drug addicts, and Blizzard delivers. It completely kills the authenticity of the game. No need to farm specific items. Just transmog it. It's so dumb. I never will touch a game with transmog anymore. You're not alone. Majority of the players are just dumb. What? Dude. No need to farm specific items. Yeah, you do. You do still have to farm those items. You can't just go into the item collection journal and hit unlock. That's my item now. No, you still have to farm them. I promise. I spent way more time than I cared to admit farming Damnation. And I actually, on accident, for the longest time, I was farming the wrong difficulty. Because I'm pretty sure it only drops on Heroic or something like that. And my dumbass was farming normal for a little bit, and I was like, maybe it just doesn't drop from this boss or something. So I went to go look it up, and I seen that it drops from Heroic only, and I was like, bruh. My point is, I got Damnation, and I used that staff for like several expansions on my Warlock. I love that staff. It's super cool. I don't think a majority of the players are dumb, like this person says. I think that this person is probably dumb, and they just don't understand how transmogging works. And if you don't understand how something works, you probably shouldn't be giving commentary on it, especially not negative commentary. Come on, man. That's just rude. So the other comment underneath this one was, this was a very big negative for me. I enjoyed the days when I could just take a look at someone and know which gear they were wearing and or where they got / crafted it from. I looked forward to see top raiders with their tier sets, players that worked hard for a rare piece, and I would be amazed by it. Again, you still have to do those top tier things. What is my mustache doing? There's just one hair that's just like... Now it doesn't matter at all. Just make your gear look however you want. It's great for those that enjoy customizing, so it's awesome so many people love it. Again, I don't think this person understands how transmogging works, so I'm probably not going to touch upon this comment too much more. I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself, so moving on. I do respect what you're saying, and I think this is from the OP of this post. I do respect what you're saying, and I admit it's a slight recognition of endgame performance. I'm just not sure, beyond creating transmogs, why they'd even bother creating item models at all. Why create new item models in your game that people can farm for transmogs? Why are you doing that? It's a pointless waste of time. Everyone may as well earn a new piece of kit that looks like a potato sack and it can be changed to whatever item they choose. Character/item design has become more about what players design rather than what Blizzard designs. As time moves on, it gives Blizzard less and less incentive to actually make any decent gear models. Dude. Come on, man. Like, have y'all ever transmog before at all? Have you ever pulled up your Grand Expedition Yak and clicked on the transmog dude at all? Ever? Here's the problem with that logic, right? Let's say this is true. We're just gonna create a bunch of potato sack looking models. All of them. What are you gonna transmog them for? If you're just gonna only have transmogs that look like potato sacks? You wouldn't, because the game has to still have new item models for you to transmog stuff for. And no one's gonna transmog. I mean, don't get me wrong, my Warlock definitely looks goofy, but like, it's still, there's just so many applications for transmogs that people like this overlook, or again, they just don't understand how it works at all. And they just think that because transmogging exists now, you just have access to every single item in the whole game. No matter what character you farmed that on, no matter which alt or how many times you ran that raid, you still have to unlock the item in order for you to transmog it. I think this is also from the OP, but I don't remember because I blurred out the names. But anyway, maybe I'm alone here, but I thought looking cooler as you got better was part of the fun. As a shaman in Wrath of the Lich King, I was dying to gear my tier set purely because it was dope. Being able to finally not look like this because you got cool gear was cool. So gone are the days of this, and now we can move forward from that and look however we want. I did want to touch up on the other line about the game has become more about what players design rather than what Blizzard's design. I think that's just ruthlessly disgusting. Come on now. God forbid Blizzard lets players look how they want to in a fantasy RPG and live out their fantasy in the RPG however they want to look. Why is that a bad thing? Why and when on any timeline whatsoever in the multiverse would that be a negative thing? That's good. That's a good thing. Blizzard designs, creates, puts in all these items and pieces and mounts and gear, whatever. We play the game to unlock those items and pieces of gear and mounts and whatnot, and then we can use them on any of the characters we have created and played that are able to use those pieces of gear, of course. Like I said, there's still limitations because we liked the gear that they designed. Whoa. It's just nuts to me that people think this is a negative thing. It's not. Guys, like, there are so many applications. Just stop. Dude, stop bagging on the game because of transmog. Come on. That brings me to my final point. There are things, absolutely, I don't disagree, that are drastically bringing the game down a notch, or 2, or 5, or whatever. I understand that, right? Nobody's perfect. No game studio is perfect. But transmog ain't it. Transmog gives us customization. It gives us identity to look however we want in our fantasy RPG, and that is nothing but a positive, period. Granted, I do believe that they should keep the restrictions as much as they can on what you can transmog as. I think that if you just let anybody have the ability to look like any class, for example, that takes away class identity, and then we just scrap the whole entire Legion expansion because that's what it was all about, was class identity. Granted, yes, the restrictions are good, but transmog is not bad. If we're gonna start discussions and topics to be constructive about the game and in a fair way, let's talk about stuff that is a problem. Personally, in my opinion, this is opinionated, I think there's too many currencies in the game. I think that there are too many systems. I think that there is a drastic need to be able to go back into the old world that they've designed, and don't get me wrong, I like the new continents and stuff like that, but and I think I discussed in one of my other videos that a world revamp would bring a little bit more of an evergreen feel to the game, and if that's the case and we made the old world new again, dude, that's content for like at least 2 expansions right there. Maybe more, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think there's problems that can be discussed and that would be constructive, but posting stuff like this is more detrimental, I think, than it helps, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with player identity and looking how you want to look in a fantasy RPG, especially if you do still have to unlock those appearances in order to transmog them at all. Let me know what you guys think. Are there any things constructively and fair that you think the game needs to change or improve on that isn't transmog, that you think would bring the game back into a better state? Let me know in the comments. I enjoy talking to you guys in the comments. I've been having a blast talking to you guys about the races, the allied races and whatnot. And really quick before I go, I do want to bring up something that I couldn't justify making a whole video for, but somebody did bring up in my allied race video, well, we got Dracthyrs this expansion, what do you mean? Yeah, no, I understand that. So I did want to bring that up because, one, I don't think Dracthyr is, in my opinion, the same as having a new race or an allied race, because, one, they can only be evokers, and I personally don't like to play evokers. I think they were fun, and I probably jump on it every now and then, but it's not my cup of tea. So when you limit it to the people that specifically only want to play dragon evokers, that's not the same as if you added a Kultiran or a Zandalari Troll or whatever that can be all those classes that you know, they can play. In my defense, that's all I'm saying is, like, they're cool. Yes, I'm glad they added them, absolutely, but it's not the same, and I would like to see something that people have been wanting for a while, you know what I mean? Like a Tuskar or a Arakoa or whatever. So that brings me to my other thing really quick. Sorry for this video going on for a little bit longer, but there was another comment that was saying, oh, well, let's just give all these cool ideas for races that are in Outlands, but with the lore justification, scrap all of those because whatever. No, I didn't mean that. I mean, like, there's still no reason. I don't think I said anything in that video that was a reason we couldn't go back to Outlands, unless the Outlands, from a misunderstanding on my part, just disintegrated. There's no reason we can't go back to Outlands to recruit these races. Also, let's just say that it is in really, really bad shape, and it is. Then what if over time, the time that it's been since Burning Crusade, it has deteriorated so badly that these races need somewhere else to live? Where are they going to flee to? Probably Azeroth, where the Dark Portal takes them, you know what I mean? And where have we seen that before?
Our world is destroyed.
All I'm saying is it's a possibility. So all the Burning Crusade races or whatever from the Outlands, still fair game. Still fair game. I still stand by what I said in my video. Anyway, that's going to be all from me. If you like this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.